Test, test, test. Testing. So, folks, just a quick reminder, we've been over this before at some prior meetings, but the governor has mandated masks in all school buildings. We do need everyone to have a mask on before we begin. So if you could please put your masks on so we can start the meeting, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Folks, I see a few people who don't seem to be moving. We will just all go home. Okay, thank you. No problem. Okay, I do think that I see everyone wearing a mask, so we'll call our meeting to order. Today is October 12th, 2021. This is a business meeting of the North Kingstown School Committee. I'd ask if everyone could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, if you could please call the roll.
Mr. Blasberg.
Here.
Ms. Hildebrand.
Here.
Mrs. Hoskins. Here. Mrs. Lima. Here. Mr. Mather. Here. Ms. Schott. Here. Student Representative Brooke and Gabriel.
Thank you. And if you could please call the calendar.
Tuesday, October 26th will be our next school committee business meeting, and Thursday, November 11th is Veterans Day, no school.
Thank you. So we do have a presentation. Before we begin, I just want to mention we do have a sign up for citizens' comments. You do need to put your name and address down there. There were a couple people who hadn't done that, so if there's not a name and address, I'll skip over your name. So if you didn't fill in your name and address in full down there, you need to do that for the record. Before we do that, I will turn things over to Dr. Jay and Mrs. King for a presentation.
Thank you. So this year we have just received word that the North Kingstown School Department for the 7th year in a row has received the Association of School Business Officers Meritorious Budget Award. It's the most prestigious award that a school department can receive for their budgeting practices. I want to congratulate Mrs. King and Steve Janelle, our controller, for all of his hard work in making sure this happens. This is really kind of taking the long way about doing our budgeting and making sure that it's transparent and making sure that it's fully connected to, our teaching and learning goals. So huge, we've done this now 7 years in a row, so it seems kind of commonplace, but trust me, it is not. We're one of the only school districts, I'm not sure if there are any other in the state of Rhode Island that are receiving this award. And we just happen to have a tremendous team here to make sure that we're doing this work to the highest standard in the country. So congratulations.
So I would really like to thank Steve Janelle. So Steve Janelle has been a controller in this district for about 12 years or so, and he's going to be retiring at the end of this calendar year. And, we have some great people taking over for him, but Steve Janelle was the architect of this. 7 years ago, he said to me, I really want to try to do this. And the requirements of what you need to present in this meritorious budget award package are voluminous from the ASBO International Group. And ASBO is the Association of School Business Officials, and it's an international group. All states have a chapter. We have one as well. And I said, you know what, Steve, if you want to do that, I think that's great. And he ran with it. And all of the documents up through FY22 budget, so we have our regular budget, if we will, that we present to the school committee that's a mere 80 or 90 pages. The meritorious budget award package is nearly 500 pages. It's very searchable, and it can give people information that they're particularly interested in. There's always 10 years of data that's in the package. And there's a lot of other information also about the town, about all of the awards that the district earns. So it's not strictly a numbers document, although that's primarily what it is. But I think it's a real good testament to how far we've come in the district and our transparency and how important financial reporting is to us. So I really appreciate Steve's time on that. We all put in, some pieces of it, but Steve Janelle definitely deserves the credit for this. I thank him very much.
Thank you, Mrs. King, and congratulations to you and all of your staff for all the hard work that you do. It's a unique recognition to have an outside group come in and take a look at what you do and give you that pat on the back. And 7 years in a row is certainly nothing to sneeze at. So thanks again.
Thank you.
So next we have citizens' comments. If someone could just bring up the list, I'd put it back down just so that we could get it completed. Thank you, Mrs. Schott. If you could leave the second one down just in case. Yeah, thanks. And so just a reminder, we do ask if you could please limit your comments to 3 minutes. This will blink red and then go off at the end of your 3 minutes so that you know. And we ask if you could just, again, for the record, please state your name and address when you come to the microphone. And I apologize if there are any names that I pronounce incorrectly. First I have, I think it's Kay Rampino Sr. And then after that will be Brian Odell, if you want to sort of be on deck.
Members of the school committee, thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening. Once informed as to what critical race...
Could you just say your name and address for the record? Sorry.
I'm sorry. Kenneth Rampino, Sr., 7 Morningside Drive, North Kingstown.
Thank you, sir.
Once informed as to what critical race theory really is, any fair-minded person knows intuitively that CRT or any other euphemism its proponents employ is destructive to children by propagandizing them to judge their schoolmates purely on the basis of race or ethnicity, which is the very essence of racism. At its core, it is government-sponsored racism under the guise of anti-racism. Here are just 2 of the countless examples of the heartbreaking impact of CRT on kids. In Williamson County, Tennessee, where educators were teaching children to be ashamed of their whiteness, a 7-year-old was placed in therapy because of severe depression after coming home from school saying, "Mommy, I am ashamed that I am white. Is there something wrong with me? Why am I hated so much?" A 7-year-old child told by her teachers that she is evil solely on the basis of her skin color. In Nevada, an African-American parent sued a charter school for teaching her biracial child CRT, violating her parental prerogative to bring up her child in the belief that all persons are created equal. Go on the internet and you will find hundreds of examples of children being damaged by CRT. As a retired attorney who practiced law for 5 decades, as someone who has authored numerous treatises on constitutional law published in American Law Reports, I would like to focus on the legal issues raised by CRT. The legal rights of parents do not end at the portal of a school. Recently, a school administrator in another Rhode Island community expressed rage that parents would have what she considered the audacity to have a say in what is taught their children. She obviously is unaware of the case of Espinoza versus Montana, a case not involving CRT per se, but wherein the U.S. Supreme Court recognized the rights of parents to direct the education of their children in the classroom when constitutional rights of their children are being violated. In the case I mentioned involving the African-American mother with the biracial son, he was given a failing grade in sociology of change course because he refused to openly acknowledge his, quote, white privilege. The mother, on behalf of her child, sued the school for depriving a child of freedom of speech under the First Amendment, equal protection under the 14th Amendment, and of violating his civil rights under Title VI of the Civil Rights Act. The complaint in the suit relies in large part on the U.S. Supreme Court case of West Virginia versus Barnett, wherein, upholding students' constitutional rights, the Supreme Court of this nation said, quote, no official, high or petty, can prescribe what shall be orthodox in politics, nationalism, religion, or other matters of opinion, or force citizens to confess by word or act their faith therein. I submit that CRT in its varied forms is becoming the new orthodoxy that dictates allegiance to its false beliefs with severe recriminations for failure to do so. Parents and students have constitutional rights that are trampled upon when these toxic ideologies are forced on children in our schools. And we need to stand up to it wherever and whenever it occurs through peaceful assembly and protest, electing school committee members with traditional values, and through injunctive relief mandated by the judicial system.
Thank you. Now, folks, I apologize that I have to... I apologize, I have to remind people again, but we've asked a couple people to leave who wouldn't wear a mask, and at this point we do have 2 people in the room who are not wearing masks. So again, as we mentioned before, we won't be able to continue the meeting until people are complying with the mandate issued by the governor regarding the wearing of masks in school. I'm not the governor. I'm not in the hall. They should be wearing a mask. So we have a choice, folks. It's a simple choice. We can wear our masks or we're all going home.
Okay, I have 2 medical doctor's notes and a prescription for no mask, no shield. I have every right to speak out against these things as anybody here. The CDC does not know shit about this virus. I know more than the CDC. So just carry on.
So on the advice of our attorney, I'm going to adjourn this meeting if the masks don't go on. So it's up to you, folks. Make a motion to adjourn.
What is the name of your attorney so that we can prosecute? You are discriminating against me. I have autism.